Hello Capricorn, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. Kathy's website is here, kathymcleland.com. Feel free to freeze frame if you need to get that information, if you want it, of course. Supportive oracle cards are Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. A couple websites here for them. There's a picture of Colette, but there's some websites. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you want to. I also have some about the illustrator. The illustrator's name is Jenna Della Grattaglia. Hopefully I'm getting fairly close to the way you say that name. And there's a bunch of websites for them. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you want to, of course. All right. What do we have for Capricorn? Why is that there? Okay. One card. The wheel pushing out of the deck, kind of like, do not forget me. Okay. Fairness, balance. You start off in a really good... I don't think this is going to be bad for you, but this has got a similar twinge to Virgo. I just did Virgo's. Similar energy. Things are good here. You got the Keeper of the Scales, and you got the Ten of Cups going on in the beginning. Things are in balance. People try to push you every now and then. You don't give in to that. I don't feel like there's anything outside of the normal of people trying to push your boundaries and you just holding your boundaries. Because when this energy's going on, it's kind of like, yeah, every now and then somebody pushes the button, but I'm not interested, and I'm going to do what I need to do. You're holding together pretty strong. You do have a weird Virgo feel right now. Like, we are doing Capricorn, right? If you know a Virgo, or that reading might also connect with this, just to be fair, because I keep getting like the Hermit card coming in. This is the Virgo card. And I'm getting this Five of Wands, which was a part of the Virgo reading. It's kind of like, are we sure this is Capricorn? Here we are. This is definitely Capricorn. Because you have moving forward as well. You're moving forward. You're deciding what you want to do. You're in complete control. That's not really odd for Capricorn. Capricorn usually, you're in control. Even if you're following somebody, you're in complete control in what you will and will not do for whoever you're following. You guys don't really play that BS game. You're going to do what you're going to do, and you're going to hold your line where you're going to hold your line. The thing is, this is what's causing a lot of the disruption that's coming. The wheel is coming in the flow. The River Queen here, it's a very interesting mermaid feel. It's almost a very morbid look at a mermaid. It's definitely like an ending feel here. Something has ended. You don't know yet. Other people know what's coming. People are trying to put things together. People are trying to fix things, but something did end. And they're not saying anything to start with. They got the Hanged Man, Hanged Person, the Hanged One in this deck. Is it you, or is it just all together they don't want to say anything? I almost feel like it's all together they don't want to say anything. Because I'm like, are they just keeping it from you? We got the Knight of Pentacles, and you got the Devil card. With the Devil card is the Capricorn card. They're holding it from a bunch of people because you have loyalty around you. And some of you don't have loyalty, but you have people who just can't wait to tell you something that's not right, if you follow me on that one. Not that they wouldn't tell you for the right reason, they'd tell you just because they know it would tick you off. You know, those ones. They are trying to salvage the situation before you figure out what's going on. But energy is heavy. It's really heavy because they know once you know, that changes the whole dynamic. Something has ended. The wheel turned. Something went a little the wrong way. Something's going to go a direction not expected. An ending is coming. They're trying to control this ending. If this is a relationship situation, I feel like when you find out, I feel like when you find out, you're not really surprised. Just to be fair, um, whatever this is, if it's something like that, if it's a business situation, which seems more likely, I feel like you're still kind of like, all right, I don't really like this ending, but I'm alright going somewhere else. I don't know. You seem to be at peace with it, because you also have the bigger picture here with the rainbow prince, which the eagle card is actually, but I keep feeling the bigger picture, and kind of like, this is what's going on here. I'll make changes. You seem to be just kind of in your power, kind of like, yeah, things are a little bit weird, but I need to kind of stabilize it, decide what I'm going to do next. Nothing is ending in 5 seconds. That's also seeming to go in your favor. It's kind of like it's about to end. It's not completely done yet, but it's going to, which gives you time to plan and decide and put things together the way you need to put them. You also got this card coming up. You're going to plan once you know what's going on. The question is, when are you going to find out what's going on? Because the strength is in your hand. You get to decide what you're doing, but I feel like almost part of this is like you're already knowing that something isn't right. With this situation, if this reading is hitting, you already know something isn't right. You already know somebody's holding something back. Because when they got the Four of Cups here, I feel like you know that something isn't right. You know that something is off. You know that something isn't going the way it should be. What do you actually know at this point? You've got the Nine of Cups and the Hermit. You're happy, but you don't need to be a part of the situation. The situation works for you right now, but you have other things you could do. You don't feel like, this is like your only thing you could do. You do have options, and you're very well aware of it. You're very self-sufficient. But you're also kind of feeling like I'm a part of whatever it is, but I don't have to be. I keep feeling that. Like, I don't have to be. I could do something else. You seem to be at peace, which is great. It's great, especially for Capricorn, because that's usually like when things aren't going the way they're expected to go, that can really rub Capricorn the wrong way. Kind of like, well, this is how that was supposed to go. This is what we agreed to do, and somebody else is going a different way. But the thing is, when the wheel turns, you seem to be right on reality's like doorstep. Kind of like, well, when the wheel turns, the wheel turns. It's not about being somebody's fault. It's just about handling what happened. You are in your power moment. You really are. Capricorn is usually not the biggest fan of change from my experience. But it's kind of like also on the same thing, like I'm not going to let this get worse. Things happen. It's kind of like when the building falls down, it's kind of like I'm not just going to sit here and cry about it. That's not going to build another building. It's not going to give me a place to stay. It's not going to put food on my table. It's gone. There's nothing to fight for. So now I'm going to move on and I'm just going to handle reality. Do I like it? No. Am I upset about it? No, it's just how things happen. Like when the tornado comes through and wipes out your house, it's not about liking it. It's about moving forward and just making things the best you can. The other person feels more trapped. Whoever you're dealing with, if it's a business situation, whoever you're dealing with in this business situation, they're the one who feels trapped. You do not feel trapped. I feel your energy's more liberated. They're feeling like they don't know what they're going to do. This is the situation that it's not the first time they've had to deal with it. They don't know where they're going to go or how they're going to handle the next situation. They seem to be in a land of confusion. You seem to be very empowered, kind of like, you know what? I've been around too long to let something like this drag me down. Doesn't make it any better, just makes it last longer. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. I'm going to address it, I'm going to deal with it, I'm going to think it out, but I'm going to move towards things getting better. I feel like this is a mature Capricorn energy, honestly. Kind of like just accepting the circumstances and kind of like, I'm not going to let these circumstances hold me down. I'm not going to just ignore them. I'm going to process it through, figure out what happened and why. I'm just not going to let myself stay there and live and soak in that negative energy. I'm going to address it, sort it out, do what I need to do to make sure that doesn't repeat, but I'm going to let it go. I feel like the let go energy here. I really feel like you're going to kind of like, there's no point in it. Life happens. It's kind of like the house has been wiped away. I'm not going to rebuild a house in the same spot because obviously that's going to happen. I'm not going to rebuild the same type of house in the same spot because the chances of this happening again are too great. I'm not going to do it. Definitely moving on. it feels like the other side is more upset about you moving on than you are, because I think you're the one that's going to move on, and they know you're gonna. You're not moving on in 5 seconds, but you're starting to put it together, kind of like, I'm not going to wait for this to get worse. I'm going to make my decision and make changes now. Because there's no point in waiting. I feel like that's why. There's no point in holding back and just doing the same thing or waiting for somebody else or waiting for this to go better. Again, I feel a more mature Capricorn energy, kind of like I've been down this road. And I'm not just going to sit here and wait for it to get worse. I'm going to start working towards applying what I have to make something out of it different. I'm not just going to put more energy into this just to lose that energy, to lose that time, to lose that effort. I'm going to start working in a different direction. And I feel like this reading is trying to back that up, kind of like you're making the right decision. And if you're already feeling like something is wrong, you already know that there's something wrong, is what I'm getting. Start making your changes now. Start taking that command and start changing it to something that you want more. If the other side is holding something back and they won't tell you what's going on, just move on to something else where you don't have to deal with that person anymore. That sounds harsh, but I feel like that's where this is going to go. Kind of like I'm self-sufficient, I'm going to stay self-sufficient. If this person, I know something's wrong, but they're not going to tell me what it is, it's time for me to start changing who I'm connecting with, be it work or otherwise. It's very empowered. It's very interesting to me because there's a couple signs like Capricorn, Cancer, I want to say Taurus, maybe Virgo. There's a couple, like, signs like that don't really care for change. But you guys are very empowered. Like, I'm not going to let this become worse. I'm just refusing. I'm refusing to let this become worse. That's the thing. I think that's the whole message for this. Like, something isn't right. I feel like this is just your validation. If this reading is hitting, this is just your validation. Something isn't right here. Make your changes. Go in the direction that works for you. Start changing things now because you have more control now than you do later. And it's kind of like you're feeling it. You're knowing something isn't right. So kind of put this more in your boat. Put this more in your power. More in your direction. More in your control. Instead of waiting for somebody else to finally come forward and tell you the truth. If you're already in that place, if you're already doing that, if you've already made your decision, it doesn't matter what they think. You've already moved your energy into a better position anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I feel like they're saying you're getting that inkling and they're trying to bring this forward, kind of like, this is for you to have the power position. This is for you to be empowered and do what you need to do now, instead of waiting till later when they finally want to tell you, and then it's a whole different story. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.